Hi friends, it's Morana here and you're watching Morana's Mirror. Today I'd like to show you my interpretation of a Slavic goddess of winter, death and rebirth. I'm editing this video and it's just the beginning, but I saw that I have a lipstick on my face right there. I was fanning myself because it was so hot in the room and I was wearing a lip gloss, so it like smeared, and just act like we don't mind, okay? Please. Marzanna, Morana, Morena, Mara, Smrtka, Śmierciucha. Those are all the names of one powerful goddess. Ancient scribes compared her to Hecate, Ceres, Proserpina, or even Mars, the god of war, courage, and masculinity. Because Marzanna was an incredibly diverse deity. On one hand, she was the goddess of death, and on the other, of rebirth. She takes over the reign of the earth when the last leaf falls from the tree and the world is covered by a white blanket. Blank white. But she's also the one who takes the snow away, giving the farmers a place to grow crops in the spring. Ancient Slavs feared this deity. It was a dark period of winter and a time of trial. Had they made enough supplies? Would they survive until the sun rises again? Would they have enough to eat? And that's how a ritual of burning Marzanna was born. Traditionally, during the spring equinox, an effigy of Marzanna was made, carried around the neighborhood, and finally set on fire and thrown into the river. This is meant to bring prosperity, a bountiful harvest, and the end of winter. Observed in many Slavic countries, this custom is still practiced in Czech Republic, Slovakia, and Poland, where the tradition of drowning Marzanna has remained unchanged for hundreds of years. To me, Marzanna is an embodiment of femininity, authority, and power. Mara is the voice of those women who don't have enough strength to oppose abuse, degradation, and violence. She is an individual, she is alternative, and she is the archetype of a strong comedian woman. Commanding girl. She was not a comedian. The wreath symbolized maidenhood, purity, the cycle of life, and the cycle of nature. Although Marzanna is associated with winter, her effigy is adorned with a wreath to showcase her dual nature of a goddess. And right there you can see how I was feeling myself. I totally felt the Marzanna spirit inside me. That's how I was serving face. You have to serve face whenever you can, okay? Remember that, kids. Here is the process of making a sickle. The sickle is an incredibly important attribute of the goddess. It points to her connection with harvest, agriculture, and the cycle of nature. It symbolizes reaping the crops, the end of the good times, and the arrival of darkness and hunger. It also signifies the passage of time and death. Here you can see how I'm painting the sickle. Actually, that was my favorite part of making the sickle, because gluing and paper macheing, it was a disaster, as you can see. But yeah, painting was good. Love painting. Love pink. Love pink.
Love pink.
And those were the attributes of Smrtka. Time to become her.
And the time has finally come for the makeup process. Here's Pastmara saying hello to you. How cute. Say hello to Pastmara. Thank you. And this is where I started applying the white base to my face. And let's say it didn't go as I planned. As you can see, I was kind of struggling. Let's admit it. It was my very first time with this kind of pigment, and I was struggling to apply it with a brush. So I decided to look for a makeup sponge.
I can't find any makeup sponge, so we'll be using a cleaning sponge. I just cut out this. Oh my god, it's so yellow next to my face, but it's not as yellow. Okay, whatever. Don't do it at home. I don't think it's safe for your skin. I mean, I don't think anything will happen because it doesn't have any harsh chemicals, right?
So I switched to sponge, and you won't see it at first, but I could already see it in the mirror. It was a complete disaster. I literally wanted to cry, and I was so ready to just throw it in the towel and start over some other day. I don't think you're ready, but I'm gonna show you.
Oh my God!
Yeah.
It was at this moment that he knew. He fucked up.
And to be completely honest, at this point, I totally lost any desire to keep going with this makeup. I was convinced that no matter what I did, it was going to look cheap, messy, and ugly. I tried to save it with a brush to smooth out those little holes left by the sponge, but I had already given up. Feeling completely helpless, I started applying powder. You can totally see my grumpy face here. Although it didn't really help that all these layers had dried down and I could barely move my face. After applying the powder, things got really bad. The base turned out to be completely uneven. Some spots were stark white, while the others were almost translucent. Trying to apply blush just made it smear all over the patchy base because absolutely nothing wanted to blend on top of it. So I moved on to the eyes. First, I applied a black eyeliner pencil so I could gradually smudge it out, alternating between a clean brush and a brush with black eyeshadow. Once I was somewhat happy with the eyes, I moved on to painting the patterns on sides of my face. For this, I chose floral motifs inspired by traditional folk costumes and Slavic tablecloths. I kept looking at this sketch I had prepared beforehand, but mostly I was just going with the flow because I saw these tablecloths many times on family gatherings. And to be completely honest, once I started painting those patterns, I finally started feeling the whole look. These cool floral motifs began tying everything together and totally distracted from the patchy base. Next, I started sketching vertical lines going down my face. Here, I was somewhat inspired by Marzanna effigies and also motanki, those tiny Slavic dolls used to manifest specific intentions like protection, luck, or prosperity. And you might ask me, hey, Mara, what do Marzanna and motanki have in common? Well, they're both made of straw. Let that sink in. But in all seriousness, I just wanted to weave in an interesting motif from my culture. Since Marzanna didn't exactly wear strange paintings on her face, this is simply my own interpretation of her. So, piece by piece, line by line, I filled in every inch of the rectangle I had drawn earlier, gaining back some of my strength and starting to believe in the whole project again. Gosh, I am so incredibly happy that I didn't quit and kept going with this makeup. That's a lesson for me, and maybe for you, to never surrender. We're slowly nearing the end, and I'm looking in the final details of this look, drawing the last lines and truly rejoicing on the inside. You might not see it yet, but I blame my resting face for it, or you can also call it the typical Slavic girl mimic. Enough with the dead jokes. Time for the final reveal. I changed my outfit, sorted my hair, put on the wreath, took the sickle, and here she is. Marzanna.
Oh my god, I can't talk right now because I'm afraid that this will crack. The paint, of course. But it looks so freaking good. Guys, this is me. I feel so myself right now. It's like crazy because it's like kind of like a cosplay, but also my culture. Or it's also kind of like gothy with the white base and everything. And I feel so great. Damn, I love that makeup. I actually felt like Marzanna possessed me. She was in me and I was like representing her spirit, if that makes sense. I felt her spirit around me, and when I looked at the mirror, I saw a powerful woman. I'm inserting some photos here. And some videos.
Marzanna, Morana, Maruszka, Mara.
Now you know why I chose Morana to be my representation of my art, my persona, and my channel. Thank you so much for watching. I'm so grateful that I could finally share my art with you. And see you on the next video. Reign of the world. Reign of the earth. Earth. Reign of the earth. Last tree. Free girl. Last tree. No, the tree.